Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be fixing the world borders. Now, I did add more major cities again. I just started randomly placing major cities. I don't really care where they are. I'm not even gonna try and locate where they actually are. Where they are. I'm just gonna start. So I would actually start over here. I'm gonna start over here by giving U.S. a bit of an extension. Of course, I'm starting with a straight line. And then we're going to make it look natural. We're just going to buy some territory from Canada here. Just to make the border look, just to connect up Alaska. Then we're going to do that. And then this. And then we're going to come up and do that. And I think that looks good. Canada, we're also going to give New York and other states a bit of an extension, and we're going to take one of these major cities, and we're going to connect up with this, I guess, river here that goes out in the Atlantic. We're just going to take this area for ourselves. We're also going to take a little bit of land from Mexico over here. Now, I think we should have taken Baja California from Mexico after we won the Mexican-American War. Because we got California here, but not Baja California. Like, what are we doing? So we're just going to bring this up to here. Now, over here, this is good, fine. I think these are get better, but I think what I want to do with these two, Nicaragua and Costa Rica, is just give Costa Rica a bit of territory so they can actually have a bit of like Nicaragua. Wait, what's this lake called again? I forgot. Hold on, let me go check. It's actually Lake Colsiboca. I probably butchered that. But yeah, we're just gonna give them a little extension. Colombia, we're gonna give you... I'm just gonna fix up this work. They don't even own... They are kind of screwed over by Venezuela, so, we're gonna give this to Colombia. Like, this whole bay here, they are not being shared. And, border disputes, they will no longer exist. I'm actually getting rid of this border dispute, because that's almost the entirety of Guyana, which I don't think Guyana would appreciate that too much from Venezuela, so we're just gonna get rid of that. But one border dispute here is going to be given over to its rightful, that's one, that country that wants it. And we're gonna give it, we're gonna make sure this goes over to, our good friend Suriname. Which they do claim this in real life, so I think this will look good. And France, I think you should give a bit of territory to Suriname here as well. So we're gonna give this over to Suriname. So Suriname gets a little bit bigger. Bolivia, they actually own this piece of land here. Because right there, this is a part of a river. It's actually, here, let me show you. Look, right here, that's a river. What river? None other than the Paraguay River. So they own this piece of land for access to the Paraguay River, which it goes into Paraguay and goes all the way over here I'm pretty sure it keeps going into Argentina. Hold on, let me follow it. Paraguay River. I'm just gonna look up Paraguay River itself. So I can actually, so we can... Okay, I need the actual border outline. Okay, we're just gonna follow along here. Can I, okay, it goes this way. It has a bunch of, offshoots, so we're just gonna follow along the... So it goes around here. Goes like that. Goes here. Goes like this. Goes this way. Goes a little bit this way. It goes all the way through Paraguay, so... into Argentina. And I'm pretty sure it kind of has... And then it empties out into this river. Actually, I think it just keeps going here. No, it empties out into this river, which will then empty out into the ocean, right? Yeah. Actually, does this also connect to the Paraguay River? No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. So Paraguay, so they go like this all the way throughout to here. Into one of into this river, which then goes out to here, into Argentina. So technically, Bolivia can actually use that to trade. So I'm actually not going to give Bolivia a coastline, because they can just go like, whoop. Like this, they could just go that way, so no need for a coastline anymore. But for Chile, I am going to give the rest of Tierra del Fuego. The Falklands, they will remain British. No thing about that. They actually wanted to be British. The only thing I don't like about Argentina here is this, which kind of looks weird. So I'm just going to give a bit of this territory to Brazil. So that does mean that part of the river border here, part of the river will be a border between them and Brazil now, which I think this looks perfect. So I'll actually update the borders once I'm finished drawing them in. So, we're going to give Peru this territory. And this goes up, probably go over to... Actually, we'll give Brazil a bit of an extension here by giving them this territory. That way it just doesn't look too bad. So, that's all of the Americas done. Now let's move over to Europe. So, Belgium, Brussels, you're just gonna be your own country, and Belgium, sorry, but you have to be divided up. There's no point in you existing. Switzerland, same thing for you.
Okay, so we can't plant drip leaf on just any block. It has to be moss block.
Sorry. Forgot. When I clear out the map. Actually, yeah, I need to use Google here. And well, we need to use our the Switzerland. We need the language map. We just want to see the map. So Romanish, yeah, German is highly there. So French is kind of like mostly over here. Italian kind of is like this and that. And Germany, you can get the rest. I'll just unite Germany, some German areas. Denmark, I think you're fine, but I will give you a bit of an extension into Sweden so you can own the entrance to, actually control the entrance to the Baltic Sea. Poland, I'll let you be the same. Czechoslovakia, I am definitely bringing you back. I love the name. Austria and Hungary, you guys will remain the same. Bosnia, does not really have much of a coastline. They only have a bit right here. But this time, I'm giving them a bit of an extension. So I'll move this border down here. And Croatia will lose out on this area. It's a good price to pay. I'm pretty sure I'll use Kosovo here. I'm going to look up Kosovo's language map. Because I know they have a bit of Serb in the north here. So I'm pretty sure a majority of them are Albanian. But I'm pretty sure most of the territory I will give over to the Serbs. So I'll just do a bit of boom. And yeah. So we're just going to demote this to a major city there for Albania. So, there we go. North Macedonia, you're getting a bit of an extension into Macedonia. They have the right to be named Macedonia because Alexander the Great was born in I'm pretty sure he was born in North Macedonia. Let me just look that up so that way the Greeks won't be mad at me. Where was Alexander the Great from? Kingdom of Macedon, located in the northern part of the Greek peninsula. Okay, so Pella, where is that at? Let me look up that on Google Maps. No, ChatGPT, I don't need you. Pella. For Greece. Okay, so I guess Alexander the Great is actually, I guess, but I'm giving North Macedonia an extension. And I'm actually going to give them a bit of territory from Bulgaria just to make this look better. So, Bulgaria, you're going to lose some territory, but don't worry. I'm going to give you this territory. So, I'm sorry, Greece, I'm giving Macedonia the right of its name. Because you can't just make a country change its name just because of historical reasons. So, and, Moldova, so Ukraine, I'm gonna give you Transnistria. You can, just do whatever you want there. Just make them speak more Ukrainian. Just assimilate them into your territory and we'll be fine. I'm not gonna change the border here. I am gonna give Russia a bit of extension here, because I don't like the shape of that. The Baltics are fine. Finland will be getting access to the North Sea, so I'm just gonna give them a bit of territory here. And actually, while I'm here, I'm gonna give them a bit of an extension to their this area. So they're gonna control all of this again. They did kind of control a bit of this. It kind of went like that before the Winter War, but I think they have the right to own more. Actually, Russia is actually Swedish. They have Swedish origins. Turkey is actually from all the way over here. Madagascar is from this region over here. Even Hungary, to an extent, is actually more from over here. So now we're going to get to more interesting areas like Turkey. Turkey, I am going to kind of reduce your area of your European area and give some of this area to Bulgaria, but not too much. Because I am going to, actually, hold on. I'm actually going to do a bit of this. So that will be given to Bulgaria, but you can still keep this area. You're still connected to Europe. You still have territory inside of Europe. I am sorry about this in advance. Turkey, Syria, and Iraq and Iran. But I have to do this. I'm sorry if this hurts. I'm sorry about this, but I am going to make great work of this. So, Kurdistan is mostly in the northern area of Iraq here. So we can just give them here. And I'm pretty sure they have a bit of territory in Syria. So like that. And then I'm pretty sure they come up to here to kind of touch up with right here. So, and then they mostly follow up over here with Iran. If I can, like, get the border here. They kind of go around here to this lake and do that. So, I'm sorry to anyone from in this area, but I'm doing this for the Kurdish. They have a right to exist. Speaking of having the right to exist, Somalia. You're gonna lose Somaliland. There's no... I have nothing else to say except that they are more of a country than you are in right now. Because you are really unstable. The government is not really working. They're basically having lots of rebellions. I'm pretty sure they're very unstable. They have a lot of... Plus, they have pirates and stuff. But that's just a small adjustment in Africa. We're not there yet. The rest of Arabia, I'm fine with. Except this. You know what my solution is? For the current, drama? That's the solution. Perfect. Just unite the two. And, border dispute here. Yeah, we'll just give this over to, the Levant. I'm gonna call, yeah, it's, they live in peace now. Cyprus, they're just gonna remain like this. The only thing I will change, however, is basically Northern Cyprus. We'll just give it independence here. The British will still keep their military bases under their control. Iran, I don't really have anything else to say, but I'm pretty sure there's like a region in Iran, that is basically, hold on, let me check. Yeah, like, right here. So we're gonna give this independent, not really, but we're just gonna kind of do a bit of this. It kind of goes into, like, Pakistan, so we're gonna break up Pakistan. Sorry in advance, Pakistan. But this, you're gonna have to be, you're gonna have to be, kind of, amputee. There we go, there's a new country, Baluchistan. It's the new Stan nation. So now we have a big area to work with. India, I have no problem with you, it's just that, this... Actually, I'm just gonna solve the dispute here. I'm just gonna solve it. Here. Watch this. If a country exists here, then no one can claim it. Then there will be no dispute. It's just an independent nation now. How about that? You can't fight over an independent nation. This nation is independent now. We'll call it... Well, obviously we're just gonna call it Kashmir. It's home to all types of different ethnic groups. It's home to Indians, Pakistanis, and, well, Chinese. All living in harmony. Not really. So that means Tibet is not... I'm not going to release Tibet. I'm going to just give it autonomy here. I think autonomy would work better here. There's gonna be some territories that aren't going to look good. My borders don't really look good. I'm not the best at drawing borders for nations here. I can do okay. But they are not really that good. Now, just note that these videos are very, these are just for your entertainment purposes. They aren't meant to cause any drama. I think most people would agree that, if the UN just decided just to combine the two into one entity and make them feel like, here's Jews, here's the Palestinians, push them together, shake hands, be friends. That's all they had to do. We wouldn't have any war in the Middle East. No one would hate Israel for what they do. And no one would hate the country anymore because they're friends. That would be my solution to the conflict. Just make them be friends. Anywho, back to creating Kashmir. Now, I'll be giving countries some territory that they want. Taiwan, I'm not really gonna give China any claims. I'm just gonna get rid of their claim over Taiwan completely, cause, well, yeah. Mongolia, I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot to add major cities for Mongolia. They don't really have anything there. But Kazakhstan, Mongolia, I'm going to give you a bit of an extension over here. You have the right to have benefits of having a border with Kazakhstan, so we're just going to give you a border there. North-South Korea, the two Koreas, my solution. No more if there's no more division. Unity forever. In fact, since I'm feeling generous, here you can take some more territory from both Russia and China. You deserve it, Korea. Sorry, Russia and China. I just think this looks cool. I love Korea. I'm not really fixing anything there. Now, moving over to India here, I am going to give Bangladesh more territory here. Also, China claims some territory from Bhutan, so I'm just going to give them that. I'm also just going to give China their claim over this area of India. I see no problem with it, because China claims it. I think the reason here is that there's Chinese living here. A lot of ethnic Chinese majority in this region. Maybe China just wants to have the people here be in the same country as other Chinese, Han Chinese. So I'm just gonna give them what they want. This looks horrible, so there. And that's gonna be basically it for this region. I'm not gonna fix anything else over here. Now let's do what I want for Bangladesh. I'm just gonna give them a bit of an extension. Here. Just extend their border outward into this area. they almost touched Nepal here. So I'm gonna make them have a border with Nepal. Now moving over to Africa, my solution here for Namibia is boom, get rid of that. Give that to Botswana. I don't care. Cabinda, I'm just gonna give. I'm not. Hold on. Lesotho and Eswatini, I don't know why you even exist. Eswatini, you border only two countries, plus you're almost completely surrounded by South Africa. Lesotho is completely surrounded by South Africa. Most of the country's mountainous, but the roads that you have to use, you have to cross into South Africa, which I think being South African would be more beneficial here. So we're just gonna annex them into my most favorite country, South Africa. And since they're my favorite country, I'm gonna give them a bit of an extension. So I'm just gonna extend their border over here into this bit of Namibia. I am gonna extend this outward here. So I'm just gonna do something like that. Maybe something over, some new border over here. Then maybe do something along the lines of this. Yeah, that looks better. Malawi, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna give you a bit of an extension. Also, I think I'm just gonna surround this. Make you surround, like, Malawi. There you go. North Africa, I think I'm fine with. I'm fine with some of these borders. I'm just gonna give this territory to South Sudan. I'm just gonna give this over to South Sudan. No problem at all. I'm just giving this to South Sudan. They deserve this. Right now they're the newest country in the world, so I think they deserve a bit of territory. In fact, I think they deserve even more territory. Yeah. I am feeling generous for them today, so that might make them more unstable, but I don't care. Gambia, I'm just gonna give a bit of an extension here. So, they're just gonna follow along here. I'm just gonna make them even longer. I'm just gonna give them their rightful territory of the Gambian River. Because they mostly follow it. It kind of goes along here, but then it stops. Then their border just stops here. So I'm giving them an extension. Now, I think that looks a little sus, but still, that's where it goes. And I'm mostly fine with this. I think this will just stay disputed for this. Also, I almost forgot. Galicia goes over to Spain, over to Portugal. Also, Catalan independence. I'm sorry, Spaniards, but Catalonia really wants independence. Quebec, I'm just gonna let you have autonomy And yeah, that is the borders. Now let's actually get rid of the original borders here. Vancouver, congratulations. You're now American. Alaska, at least you're now part of the lower 48. Now you're connected to the lower 48. Now you can easily travel to Alaska without needing going through border checks. Now you can just drive up. Now you can just drive over here. I don't know why I did this, but oh yeah, that's Bermuda. It just covers the entire island there. So New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine now have more land to use. Texas also has more land. New Mexico, Arizona, and also California all have more land. California would mostly just have this territory, so Texas would have the most territory gained from this. I would probably give Washington a little bit, not really any more territory, or Alaska. I would probably just make this into a new state. The new territory into a state. Also, they do get this territory. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's mostly done with. Here you go, Peru. You have a bit of an extension. This will go over to Brazil. Chile gets a bit of an extension. I wasn't gonna make them snake up along the coast of South America. I think that would just look too stupid. Yeah, Brazil, I think you deserve territory. You deserve this territory right here. I think this looks good. Yeah, Brazil, you actually look better. Colombia, you really didn't lose too much land to Brazil, or you really didn't lose too much land. You almost look exactly the same. Some Americans really wouldn't tell the difference. They would just think this looks completely accurate. Because most Americans are bad at geography or at knowing what countries even look like. Because most of them do not have the knowledge that I do about countries. So, yeah, North and South America look good. Time to move on. So Portugal, Galicia has some similar language to Portugal here. That's why I just gave them their territory here. Oh, Czechoslovakia. I almost forgot about something. Uh, there we go. I'm also gonna give a bit of territory to Poland here. There we go. Now that looks better. That's better now. What I was saying before is, Belgium, you're basically just Brussels now. Germany does get a bit of Belgium back. France, you get Luxembourg and southern Belgium, so Belgium doesn't exist anymore, but it's good, because Switzerland doesn't exist either, so sorry Swiss, but this is just what I think would happen in the future. I think Switzerland wouldn't exist. I think it would just be divided up. Also, I am gonna unite the Germans again. Don't worry. Don't worry, Europe. Germany's not fascist anymore. They're not gonna do anything too stupid. So, they're not gonna do anything stupid here. They won't do anything. Don't worry. Don't worry, Europe. Germany is not doing anything. Actually, I think Czechoslovakia will have 2 capitals. That way both countries are represented in the new country. So German speakers, there are some Germans in Czechia, so actually this Germany looks sick. At least Czechoslovakia is back. Doesn't look exactly the same, but it's good enough. Also, I am gonna give this territory to Moldova, which will in turn go over, which will also go over to Romania, so most Moldova really wants to be integrated into Romania. They have always wanted to, but Transnistria is making that impossible. What the hell happened here? I have no idea what just happened there. North Macedonia, yeah. At least Serbia got a little bit of land. I'm not doing anything with the Republic of Srpska. I think that will look too disgusting as a border. At least Albania looks cool. North Macedonia. Actually, I'm gonna change the name to Macedonia for this video. Also, Bulgaria does get an extension, but at least Turkey still does have European territory, so they aren't disconnected from Europe. I did have to give Kurdistan their independence here. Wow, this video is almost an hour long. Anyway, here you go, Ukraine. Take good care of Transnistria. Actually, don't. Actually, I think I have a better idea for Kaliningrad. Hold on. Boom. Divide it up. No questions. Well, I'm just gonna give it over to both Lithuania and Poland. Poland gets this area. Yeah, there we go. I think making these borders look like this just doesn't make any sense, but still. Nothing in this series, nothing ever makes sense when you're doing new borders. Oh my god. I didn't give any country's independence from Russia. But hey, this looks good. At least Korea is back. Technically, the border between North Korea and China is a river, so so the river is no longer a border. It's just a river now. I'm actually just gonna pause the video so this doesn't get too long. Alright, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I might record a Minecraft episode or screen record it. Bye.